Welcome to the Great British Crochet Off, a series where every single week I crochet something inspired by that week's episode of the Great British Bake Off, and this was Meringue Week. As always, while I will not be discussing who left or who got Star Baker, I will be discussing the specific challenges. So if you haven't watched this week's episode yet, you can save this until after you've watched this week's episode. That was your spoiler warning. Now let's get into the challenges. So it's Meringue Week, which I love the idea of because meringue is involved in so many different desserts. It seems like it's a very oh, meringue, how many ways can they do meringue? No, there could be a meringue week every single series, and that would absolutely make sense. So the first challenge was they had to do mini meringue tarts, and I believe it was that they could do any kind of filling or base for their tarts, but most of them decided to go with a fruit curd, something to kind of contrast the sweetness of meringue. They were all gorgeous. I love when they do mini tarts, just a little mini art piece. The second challenge was, souffles. And then the showstopper was they had to do, what was the name of them? I believe it was a Vacherin glacé. Basically, it's a baked Alaska. It was a meringue. I don't know if they said it had to contain a cake element, but I think all the bakers basically had some sort of cake element. You have a meringue shell, ice cream inside, and then a lot of them had baked elements to it, and it had to be a showstopper, so it had to be some sort of beautiful sculptural structure. And gosh, if you are a Bake Off long-time fan, then you guys remember Bingate, and Ian brought back Ian's Bingate. If you do know the lore, excuse me for a minute. Basically, many years ago, probably series 5 or 6 or something like that, they had to do baked Alaskas, and one of the bakers baked Alaska melted, the ice cream for it melted because it was taken out of the freezer. A lot of controversy around why it was taken out of the freezer and why the person took it out of the freezer, etc., etc. But basically, he grew very upset and he decided to throw it in the bin. He threw his whole bake in the bin, and ended up having to bring his bin up to the judges for his showstopper presentation. And one of the bakers decided to recreate the bin with literally a trash can with that exact same flavor combo as a dessert. Quite a moment if you want a deep cut for the Bake Off. Highly recommend watching the old series if you have not yet. They are so good. But anyways, all that being said, loved the Bingate reference. Now let's get what inspired me this week. It was mini meringue tarts, and before you say anything, I know I didn't do anything around the bin. What was I thinking? If I had an idea of something to do around the bin, but I decided not to do it. I decided to do what I did instead. If enough people ask nicely, I could do a bonus episode this week and do something around Ian's baked Alaska, we'll call it, bin. Make your requests below. I'd be willing to do a bonus for that. I do feel bad that I did not do the bin, but what I did do was I made mini meringue tart inspired bandanas or kerchiefs. So this was inspired by Toby. So Toby did mini meringue tarts that looked like a pie. He made brown meringue and piped the meringue so it looked like a lattice topped pie. They were so cute, and also he got a handshake for them, which brought me so much joy. So I did this in a kerchief or bandana form. So this is the rice stitch, which is the perfect little mini lattice topping. And here she is on, perfect for apple picking or going to the pumpkin patch. Very fall ready, very much about to be part of my fall wardrobe with the chocolate themed cardigan I did a few weeks ago. That would be a really cute fall outfit if it's ever not 90 degrees here. And this second one was kind of a mix between Toby and Ian's, or not Toby and Ian's, Tom and Ian's. So I crocheted some blackberries, and then I studded them with beading because I do love to incorporate some beading and some texture into my pieces. I did some leaves and some little pink flowers to I wanted to bring in the colors of rhubarb and the pink of Tom's meringues without, I don't know if rhubarb would come across very clear on something like this. So this was this one, and obviously we have to try it on. Again, I feel so ready for an outdoor activity, and I do think that the purple of the blackberries goes with the purple of my hair, which That's the nice thing about making things for yourself. You can really make them work for your particular hair color. And that finishes us out for Meringue Week. Sorry for all the gabbing, but Bingate 2.0 did need to be discussed. If you guys want to see me do a bonus item around the Bingate item, the Bingate meringue item, let me know. I'm going to make you work for it by interacting with this video. And I'll see you guys for next week, which is dessert.